The first time I met Michael Jackson, I was working with Michael Peters as an assistant choreographer, along with a woman who's no longer with us, unfortunately, named Frances Morgan, amazing dancer. And Michael Peters had just been asked to choreograph Beat It. He had done Dreamgirls on Broadway, and Bob Giraldi is a New York director, and he had seen Dreamgirls and loved it. And when Michael Jackson asked Bob Giraldi to direct Beat It, Bob called Michael Peters, and Michael Peters asked me and Frances to be his assistants on the project. So we worked at Debbie Reynolds for a day, I think, about a day. It wasn't a long piece of choreography in Beat It. And Michael Jackson came in. He was like totally quiet. Nobody came in with him. He walked through the halls of Debbie Reynolds Dance Studios. I don't know if people even knew who he was. He didn't have a mask on, you know, and he was just walking through, just very quiet and very shy. And he came into the room, and Michael Peters showed him, and Frances and I danced what Michael Peters had created. And Michael Jackson was very, I like it, you know, show me. But he didn't have much to say. He didn't contribute much on Beat It at all. But he was so sweet. And Michael Peters and Frances and I like to laugh a lot. So we would always vacillate between being extremely focused, extremely intense and focused, to just being absolutely crazy and laughing and laughing. And Michael Jackson, I called him Mike, he would really love that. And it made him very comfortable immediately. So
That's beautiful.
We got along well. That was my first meeting with him, yeah.
It's interesting I don't know if dichotomy is the right word, of how he's so shy and quiet, but then his performance is so...
When you worked with Michael Jackson, the music was so loud. The floors were vibrating. The walls were vibrating. You were afraid the windows were going to break, you know?
Yeah.
And 17 years on and off kind of took its toll.
I bet.
You know, but yeah, when that music came on, Brazil, it was like nothing I'd ever experienced before or since, you know, just, I don't know. It was, well, you quoted me, I say it's like sticking your finger into the electric socket of creativity, and
yes,
and then dancing next to him, you actually felt this. Like, I got chills right now telling you about this, but you felt this energy just coming off his body and hitting you and kind of pulling you along for the ride. It was absolutely incredible. I don't even know how to describe it other than that.
I can only imagine. Because you feel the vibe in the room. Just like when you walk into a room and two people have just argued, you feel the tension. Oh, yeah. You're like, oh, something feels off in here. When somebody's vibrating creatively, it rubs off.
Well, the thing was, though, you didn't really feel it when you came into the room, because when you came into the room, he was this Michael Jackson. You know, it was only when the music turned on that he became the other Michael Jackson that we know and love, you know.
Wow, and that's the power of music.
Oh, my God.
Because we can all tap into that,
Absolutely.
Right?